when you wake up in the quiet hours of the morning, when the world still sleeps and your mind begins to wander, you start to realize that silence holds a kind of truth that words can never fully express. The soft hum of your breath, the slow rhythm of your heart, these are not mere signs of being alive. They are reminders that even in stillness, there is motion. Even in emptiness, there is meaning. You begin to remember that every moment of your life has been leading you to this one, the moment where you finally start to see that all the noise, the chaos, the heartbreak, the confusion were never meant to destroy you. They were the fire that was shaping you into someone who could stand in the storm without losing their light. There were days you thought you would never make it, when the weight on your chest felt too heavy to carry, when the nights stretched endlessly, and you wondered if anyone could hear the silent scream inside your soul. But even then, even in the darkest silence, something inside you refused to give up. It was not pride or stubbornness. It was the small spark of life that kept whispering, keep going, even when you could not see the path ahead, even when you did not believe there was one. That whisper became your anchor, it became your truth. You started to understand that strength is not built in moments of glory, it is born in the quiet hours, when no one is watching, when you pick yourself up again and again, even when the world gives you no reason to. That is where real courage lives, not in loud declarations, but in silent persistence, in the decision to try one more time when everything inside you wants to quit. Life will break you over and over. It will test every part of who you are. It will take away the things you love and force you to face the parts of yourself you have hidden. But if you listen closely, you will realize that every breaking point is also an opening, a doorway to something new, something deeper within yourself. You begin to see that pain is not the enemy. It is the teacher. It shows you where you still need to grow, where you still hold on to tightly, where you still fear letting go. And letting go, that is the hardest lesson of all. Letting go of what you thought your life should look like. Letting go of the people who were never meant to stay. Letting go of the version of yourself that no longer fits the person you are becoming. It hurts because it feels like losing control, but what you are really doing is learning to trust the flow of life, to surrender to the rhythm of change. And that is where peace begins. You start to see that nothing truly belongs to you. Not the past, not the future, not even your own story. The only thing you have is this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. And when you begin to live from that awareness, everything changes. Suddenly the world no longer feels like something you have to fight against. It becomes something you are part of, a vast and intricate dance where every loss has meaning, every mistake holds wisdom, every ending hides a new beginning. There are moments when you will look back and realize that the things you once cursed became your greatest blessings. The heartbreak, the shattered you made of you softer, more compassionate, more real. The failures that humiliated you taught you humility and patience. The loneliness that once felt unbearable gave you space to discover who you truly are. You begin to understand that growth is not always graceful. It is messy, painful, uncomfortable, but necessary, because without it, you would remain trapped in the illusion of who you once were. You see the world differently now, you know. Longer chased after validation or try to prove your worth. You know that your value does not depend on how others see you. It comes from how deeply you know yourself, how fully you accept your flaws, how gently you treat your wounds. Self-love is not a feeling that appears overnight. It is a practice, a commitment to show up for yourself again and again, especially on the days when you feel unworthy, especially when the voice in your head tells you that you are not enough. That is when you must hold yourself closer and whisper, I am here, I am still learning, I am still alive. There is beauty in the struggle because it strips you down to your essence. It removes all the masks, all the illusions, until you are left with nothing but your truth. And your truth, no matter how fragile, no matter how uncertain, is sacred. It is what connects you to others. It is what reminds you that you are human, and that being human means being both broken and whole at the same time. You will still stumble, you will still doubt, you will still fall into old patterns, but that does not mean you are failing. It means you are growing. It means you are alive. Evolution is not a straight line, it is a spiral. We return to the same lessons over and over, each time with a little more understanding, a little more grace, and one day, without even realizing it, you will look back and see that you are not the same person who once begged for strength. You have become that strength. When you begin to live from a place of awareness, the small things become miracles. The sound of rain against the window, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the laughter of a stranger. These are not random moments, they are life speaking to you, reminding you that joy is not something to chase, it is something to notice, to feel, to receive. Even in the middle of pain there can be beauty, even in sorrow there can be gratitude. For too long you believed that happiness was something to be earned, after success, after healing, after becoming perfect. But now you know that happiness is not a destination. It is the way you walk the path it is in, how you breathe through the moments that hurt, how you choose to love, even when you are afraid, how you forgive, even when no one says sorry. And forgiveness, that is another kind of freedom, not for the people who hurt you, but for yourself, because holding on to anger keeps you trapped in a past that no longer exists. Forgiveness is not saying that what happened was okay. It is saying that you are done carrying the weight of it, that you are choosing peace over bitterness, healing over hatred, love over fear. The truth is, you will always be a work in progress. And that is the most beautiful thing about you. You are not supposed to have it all figured out. You are meant to evolve, to unlearn, to rediscover yourself over and over. Life is not about reaching some final version of perfection. It is about embracing the imperfect journey, about finding peace in the becoming. Sometimes you will wake up and feel lost again. You will question your purpose. You'll wonder if you are enough, and that is okay, because clarity does not come from having all the answers. It comes from living the questions with honesty and patience and trust. One day you will wake up and realize that the path you were searching for was never outside of you. It was always within, waiting for you to notice. When you learn to listen to the silence within, you will hear the voice of your soul. Gentle but powerful, it will tell you to stop running, to stop chasing, and to simply be, to breathe, to exist, to remember that you are already whole, that nothing is missing from you, that you were never meant to be perfect, only real. You begin to move through life differently. Now, not from fear, but from faith. Not from desperation, but from peace. You no longer need to rush. You no longer need to prove anything, because you finally understand that the journey itself is the reward. Every mistake, every tear, every triumph is a thread in the tapestry of your existence. And when you look closely, you will see that it is beautiful. You start to meet people differently. To you no longer expect them to fill your emptiness, because you have learned to fill it yourself. You love them freely, without conditions, without the fear of losing them, because you know that love is not about possession. It is about presence. It is about seeing someone fully and allowing them to be who they are while still remaining true to who you are. That is real love, the kind that expands, not confines. And when life tests you again, and it will, you will not break as easily. You will not crumble under the weight of uncertainty, because you have built your foundation on something deeper than circumstance. You have built it on truth, on faith, on self-awareness. You know now that storms are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to cleanse you, to strip away what no longer serves you, to reveal what has always been real. The road ahead will not be easy. There will be more challenges, more lessons, more moments of doubt, but you will face them with open eyes and an open heart, because you have learned that everything has purpose, even the pain, even the waiting, even the silence. You are not here to have a perfect life. You are here to experience the full spectrum of being alive. One day you will look at yourself in the mirror and you will not see someone who is broken or behind. You will see a warrior made of softness and strength, someone who has walked through fire and learned to dance in the ashes, someone who has fallen countless times but never stayed down, someone who has turned pain into power and fear into freedom. And when that day comes, you will smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand that perfection was never the goal. It was always about awakening, about remembering, about becoming who you were meant to be all along. You are not lost. You are transforming. You are not late. You are right on time. Life is not a race, it is a rhythm, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes chaotic, but always moving. And if you listen closely, you will realize that the rhythm of life matches the rhythm of your heart, and as long as it beats, you have purpose. As long as it beats, you have hope. So take a deep breath, let the past fall away, let tomorrow take care of itself, and focus on the only thing that is real, this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, this you, because in the end that is all there ever is, and all there ever needs to be.